What's up, guys? It's Jetbuster. We're back at it. We're gonna go ahead and continue upon where we left off. We literally just finished Stormblood. We just killed Xenos, and we're gonna go ahead and see what's gonna happen going forward. So this would technically be the third expansion completed with the main story. Which means that the next one should be Shadowbringers. So we're one step closer to getting to Endwalker. It's been an epic and fun journey, I'm not gonna lie. Some things I don't like, some things I do, but you know, you gotta build a story, it's just the way it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Lise and continue on. We did it. We liberated Alamigo. I don't know what to say, I don't even know how to feel about it. Relief, I suppose, pride and hope too. We did it. Father, Ida, Papalmo, Conrad, Melfred, Menphilia, we really did it. Hey, don't feel like you have to stand here listening to me mumble. Everyone else will want to talk to you. You beat him after all. You're the real hero of this story, so run along and talk to and take your platitudes. Or platits. I don't know what that is. Alright. Yaguri! For you to beat Xenos, even after he had harnessed the power of a primal, is a testament to your ever-growing strength. Now not better to have had your vengeance stolen from you by another? There is no small regret, perhaps, there is some small regret perhaps, but this is outweighed by the satisfaction I find in his death. I commend you, Jetbuster. As should we all. Xenos was a monster and a tyrant, the man who killed my father and countless other of my countrymen. The world is a better place without him in it. I should also praise Master Alphanon for his foresight and restraint. Had he not intervened, I might never have had the pleasure of being reunited with Hikaru and his twin brothers. So it's a timely intervention. Full glad am I not to have been burdened with the guilt of killing my Lord Hyen's most trusted allies. Ah, indeed, my friend, indeed. Nagano! Can you believe it? We won. We beat the bastards. Alamigo. Sorry for I got a bit carried away there, didn't I? It's hard not to, you know. We owe it to the friends we buried to shout and scream and cheer with all our hearts. I want them to know it wasn't for nothing, that it's finally over, and that they can rest in peace. You hear that, lads? Sniffle. We'll be all right. We'll be Sniffle. Oh bugger, not again. I'm so bleeding happy I could cry. That's funny. Alphanon, my boy. After all we have been through, I really should know better than to worry, but as ever, the relief I felt upon finding pale and whole in the royal menagerie well nigh reduced me to tears. The Warrior of Light, victorious again. I should be surprised if some small part of you had not come to resent the title and the responsibilities which accompany it. You must forgive us if we call you hero when you accomplish heroic feats. But as the Warrior of Light, so goes the world. You should take pride in the good you have done, and in the good you have inspired others to do. You are a natural-born leader of men, Jetbuster. All these people weren't just following their comrades, they were following you. And you led them to victory, to freedom. Alas, not everyone could see the journey through to its end, but history shall remember them and the glorious future they made possible. Alrighty. We gotta speak to Rubinon. second, guys. Alright, here we go. Hero of the Hour. I suppose we'll have to add Liberator to your titles. With their commander fallen, the remainder of the 7th, it chose to surrender to our forces. After 20 long years, it's official, the occupation is ended. But now the hard work starts. Though the people have had their fill of kings, there is no clear consensus on what sort of government they would prefer instead. Indeed, Father, momentous as this achievement may be, the road which lies before us is no less uncertain than the one we have walked. Yet it can overcome 2 decades of oppression. I have no doubt that we can find a way forward. Thank you, Jetbuster, for helping to make this dream a reality. Finish your rounds? Great. In that case, I'd like you to come with me back to Roghal's Reach. Not for a rematch or anything, sadly. I want to call all the scions together. I'll explain later. Okay. I don't even know where to begin.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we? I can't thank you enough. There's something I need to say to you all. That is, if you have a moment. Good. You're all here. Good. Good.
Okay, hold on. Let's just stop here for a second, okay? Yastula has randomly appeared out of nowhere. Alright, guys? Let's think about that for a second. We have not seen Yastula for a very, very long time. The last time that we generally saw her, Yastula was injured. And now she's randomly here, and I don't know what she's done. I don't know what side missions or things that she's been doing in general. It's just completely random and out of nowhere that she just appears within the story. Literally after we finish the main objective of Stormblood. They don't make a bit of sense to me.
Thank you doesn't really suffice, does it? I'm grateful. Truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. But I know you didn't fight so hard just to hear me or anyone else say that. You fought because you wanted to help, because you believed it was right, because you're scions. Now, I'm obviously a scion, but as Conrad left me in charge of things here, I also have responsibilities to Alamigo. When I put it like that, though, I realized I couldn't even pretend to be impartial anymore. So it seemed best to make it official. As long as I serve Alamigo, I can't be a scion. It might be selfish and short-sighted, but that's my decision.
Am I to understand that you summoned us all, some of us still nursing wounds, to hear this?
Oh, I didn't,
Forgive me, Lise. 'Twas but a jest. But this I say with the utmost sincerity. Scion or no, we are comrades, now and ever after. Is that not so? There you have it. Come what may, you may count on us in your hour of need. We shall never refuse you.
Stola. Oh, gods. I swore I wouldn't cry.
Our little girl is all grown up. What?
Come back here, you slippery little devil.
Are you
I think fishing could be so difficult.
are you kidding me right now? Our boy is still alive. Yes!
What greater proof of a man's lingering mortality than an empty belly? A fate worse than death.
Gosetsu's still alive? Yes! Oh, that's so good. I knew the bastard just couldn't go down, man. What was his name? The turtle. When the turtle supposedly went and did a quick search, he said that the bottom floor gave out before the top. So Gosetsu was on the top holding the roof to allow us to escape. So at that same time, when the building completely collapsed, he must have fell through and was able to survive. Granted, he got shot like 3 times in the back. But like, I mean, he's a tough bastard. I mean, he's a freaking, what is he, like a Rogadin? I mean, he's just huge. I shouldn't say really a Rogadin. I don't know what he is. Maybe he is a Rogadin, maybe he's not, but he's freaking huge.
Fie on it. To have arrived at the appointed place and time only to survive by mere force of habit. Truly, the Kami are not finished with us yet. Oh, capricious fortune. How you test me with this wretched soul.
Ah, she's still alive. I knew he had such a kind heart that he would save her too. This is indeed the work of either a Shinryu or Omega. And since there is undeniably something down there radiating a massive amount of energy, which cannot very well be the late Viceroy's Lap Dragon, yes, I think we have our suspect. Well, this is a mess of our own making, so it falls to us to clean it up. It won't be easy, but whatever. Jesse. And now comes the part where you say you've got no choice but to divert company resources and employees to this pet project of yours. Lost profits and belligerent clients be damned. Financial considerations notwithstanding, you have to admit there is an unquantifiable benefit in giving our people the opportunity to study such advanced technology. Oh, is that before or after you blow it up or seal it away? Fine, fine. But the moment I judge this little venture as unsustainable risk to the ironworks, I'm ending it. Savvy? And to keep you honest, using my authority as deputy president, I've gone ahead and brought in a consultant, a master engineer and mechanical genius. Oh god. You didn't. No, this guy. I'm getting tired of seeing him. Come now, you mustn't build their expectations too high. It will be less dramatic when I surpass them. Oh no. Oh no, absolutely not. This is not happening. Nero Telskavia, eager to begin his first day as a loyal member of the Ironworks teams. Looking forward to working with you, Carnond. After everything we did with this guy. Why? Why? Has he just had a completely 360 change of heart? So fell the hunter, but what of the hound? So rose the children, but what of something? I didn't get to see that. Do you mean to tell me that Nero is now working for the Ironworkers? Oh god. I mean, I know the guy was trying to reforge himself, but oh my goodness. Ardenvald's adventure. Oh, we get the box. Cool.
Come to see how we're getting on? We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me? I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Oh boy. Right then, let's go and find Master Levier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Etherlight, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. All right. Greetings, Shipbuster. It would seem we are to accompany Ardenwald on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rogor's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that the unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus were born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty? You assume correctly. And I would also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known. Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following the Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming any easy fortune. But even after soaring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. Well, what self-respecting adventure would? Imagine the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Oh yeah. Fireball's Adventure. You have now learned the emote boxing. Nah. I'm assuming this is going to be a raid, boys. Oh. Level 37 gear. Do I have 37 gear? I have level 400 gear. Interesting. Look at something real quick. Probably arranged. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every quarter of the empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalma Makasa has already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Ardenvold, how we any clue as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied Archivist and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have been 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Ardenvold, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks, while as Shepbuster make the rounds in the Alamigan quarter. And there I was thinking I was the party leader, not that I mind. Of course, let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gorbandi's gate. Interesting. Okay. So we need to go to the Alamigan quarter. Okay. Middle-aged Highlander. In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the Divine Audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stay as far away from the palace as possible. Amateur maid. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see His Royal Majesty when he deemed to attend the executions he's ordered. After a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Interesting. retired Rogadin. I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter of my life and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which of course we were under orders to ignore. So we stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell bent on finding out what happened to the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. Okay. Arnold. Yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs knowledge of the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I should tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's persona and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fervid mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court Thormund to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Boy, that sounds a little intense. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin, then. As promised, I scurried the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for so long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Jippa, sir? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Turn into monsters? And what could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Algary who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said not of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning him a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Jibbuster? His fears seemed genuine. He may have been lying, but if he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arnold's antidote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but I share my theory. There is a matter I would clarify. Ardenwald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and even took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamiga, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound on the other side of the wall. It was then I turned to adventuring, and the road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I draw a steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With theatrics of gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Ardenwald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Jipastar, you intend to surrender the treasure to Ardenwald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Sure. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you are minded to hear it. Mad King's Trove. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but it's certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Salt. Okay. Where are we going, buddy? Oh, okay. Oink. Oh, we're going underwater. Not again. Forgive me, it was not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lodge in sight while I explain things. Prior to the Great Flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of the launch salt. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below the ruins of Scala. I further summarize the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying that they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove? Precisely, and since we know the court Dharamaj was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamegans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not. Jetbuster, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lodge and search from an underwater route to the ruins? While you do that, Arnival and I will seek out the enscrolled portal within the palace. Alright, boys, pretty straightforward, I guess. Alright, 1 second here. Want to do something really quick. Alright, boys, it looks like we're going a little bit underwater. Let's see. Okay. Did it go under? Here we go. How did I not know we were gonna come down here? All good though. It's kind of funny because I just explored this previously, but all by like accident. So. This is where they want us to go? Yep. Oh, not this way, but it is in this area. Oh, never mind, I'm right, it's right in front. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Stoned door. You come to a worn stone door standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you found an entrance into the subterranean rooms. Jetbuster, it's Alphanos. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enhancements. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads to the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on lads, we might as well make it a race. Victor goes to the first adventure to find the treasure. Godspeed. The drowned city of Scala. Okay. Alright boys, do that. Oh, that was easy. Come on, where's the other DPS? Almost level 76, and I get to finally learn Atonement. Okay. Where's our DPS? There they are. Drowned city of Scala. Kelpie. Okay. Interesting. A stone bobad. Bad? I don't know what that. It's a weird name. the world is this stuff? Activate lunk something transformation. X, what in the world is this? Zang Beto. Run Royal. Theodoric Poison Tongue. Ah, kill you all. Death comes for you. Get him off me! Nice. Nice.
Oh, bugger it. Are you all right? Aye. Aye. Everything's still attached.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good. We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you? Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Alright, boys, on that note, I think we are gonna be done for the night. It's like 3:15 in the morning or something like that. And I need to get some sleep. But it's been fun. I am going to get off. You guys have a good night and a good day whenever you guys watch this, as I hope that you do. But we'll continue on with the next part of the episodes in the main story. But you guys have a good night. Peace.